Do we notice anything different? Okay, I got my hair braided and I found someone here in Vegas finally because that was a whole situation, but she did a really good job and she did it quick. This is apparently, I think this is like a French, it's called French curl, and it was a little bit expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but it was booked for like 5.5 hours and she got it done in like 3 hours. So I'm not mad at it. You can kind of see it's just like almost kind of like boho-ish, but I'm not sure what the hair is. She provided the hair, but when I tell you, great experience, in and out 3 hours, like, and it's pretty, I think it's a pretty good length too. So I like it. I'm happy. I'm a fan. Let me know what you guys think. I really like it. I really love it. I think it's great. I look fine. Like, okay, this is not going to be an entire voiceover. I just wanted to test out doing voice. Well, it's not going to be an entire talking to camera. I wanted to test out kind of talking to camera and doing voiceovers, a little bit of both. I'm still trying to figure out how like to work my camera so that it does like autofocusing. I'll figure it out. But I am going out to dinner tonight, so I don't know if I'm going to film that. Maybe I should film it because I don't normally film. I do go out to eat a lot, but I don't normally film it. But I'm going someplace very fun tonight on the Strip and here in Vegas, and it's somewhere I've wanted to go for a while. I actually tried to go maybe like a week or two ago, but I didn't have reservations and I didn't realize the line was going to be so long and the wait was horrendous. So I ended up going to like somewhere else in that hotel. But I made a reservation this time. So I have a reservation and I'm gonna get ready. I still have like a couple hours until dinner, but I'm just gonna get ready early because I did want to film it. And maybe I can edit this too before. I don't know. Now I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should do the whole thing talking. I don't know. We'll see. To start off, to kick off this makeup today, I have this wonderful, beautiful bottle of, I think you pronounce it Caterwaul. Caterwaul. It's a Cabernet, a 2021 that I bought when I was living in Atlanta. I bought in 2024. And it is 2026, so I've been letting it sit for the past 2 years since I bought it, and I've been waiting. Honestly, when it comes to wine, I'm not snobbish or anything like that, but I have been waiting. I don't necessarily believe in like waiting for the perfect moment or a special occasion to drink something. I just always wait for the moment that it feels right, and I always tell myself, oh, I'll know the moment. So last night, I just had like a moment where I had a lot of thoughts in my mind. I had a lot of feelings. There's a lot going on. I was writing a bunch, which if you're not subscribed to my Substack, you might want to subscribe because I post my writing on there. But I was writing and I was like, you know what? I'm going to open this bottle, enjoy a really great glass of wine, and write some things of how I'm feeling and what's in my head. And that's what I did. So I opened this bottle of wine and I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to see if you can like see the thing. I only had like 1 or 2 glasses and maybe this bottle it wasn't like super expensive. It's not like one of those like hundreds and hundreds of dollars bottle of wines, but I want to say this bottle was like $50 or $60 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna drink it, but we gotta drink it soon. I think you're supposed to like, or I need to recap it. Like I kind of like oh, this is so embarrassing. I don't have a recap, so I kind of like finessed it and did like just like put something over it to kind of preserve the integrity of it. But until I can recap it, I'm gonna try and drink it because I don't want to waste it because I'm not even a huge Cabernet person, but it is a very smooth, very good cab. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I bought it because I went to a cab tasting at Total Wine. It was like, I want to say 30 bucks. And you have a, I don't know if it was a staff member or a professional that comes in and teaches you. They pick out like 5 or 6 wines, teaches you about each bottle, lets you taste each one. And this was one of the ones that were in the tasting. And I didn't buy it that same day, but I went back and bought it later. So, long story short, we're gonna start with a glass of this beautiful Cabernet while I get ready for dinner tonight. And look at how pretty it is. Look at how gorgeous it is. Hold on. It's still good. Very smooth. I'm normally like a sweet red person, but man, I kind of want to buy another bottle of this. Like, damn. I mean, it's great. I always think that you should like savor in quality and great things on your own. You shouldn't always wait for someone. But this bottle, I'm like, dang, I should have shared this with someone. Like, this would have been a great bottle to share with someone. Like, but hey, it's still good on my own. Okay, we're gonna put this hair up in a bun. I normally wear, I don't know if I'm gonna wear my headband, my little blue headband that I wear in every video. Since these are new, my head kind of hurts, like in talking about the pain with braiding. I think she did a really good job because like, I don't know if like you guys can see my parts and stuff. She did a good job parting it. And there wasn't a lot of pain while she was doing it. She was super quick. But also she, yeah, there wasn't a lot of pain or tugging. That's the thing that always makes me a little bit nervous with braids. Is like I'm a bit hesitant about the pain. But I got these done on a Thursday, and that Thursday I didn't have any pain. The next day, Friday, not really any pain either. Saturday is when I started kind of feeling a little bit of like a little tug of something. And so today is Sunday, so it's been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, about 4 days, and I feel a little bit of the pain. Not bad though, probably like maybe like a 5, if that. So not too bad. But because they're a little bit sensitive, I don't think I'm gonna do a headband, and I'm just gonna do my makeup and leave it in a bun and go from there. Now, because I'm going out to dinner, I want to do I want to do a full face? I'm like, I would have to like scrape this out because I have been too preoccupied and too busy focusing on like work and other things to go get a refill of this or to get a new foundation. So if I do a full face, I'm gonna have to like scrape this out. But I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just do a concealer look with some bronzer. And then I have an eye look that I've done before using, sorry that was loud, this palette. It's like this custom MAC palette where you know, buy the palette and then you buy each of the separate shadows. I have a look that I've done this before, but I can't fully remember. I'll try and put up a picture if I remember. We'll see. But I can't fully remember how I did the eye look, but I think I'm gonna try and recreate that. I did have this like purple lavender eyeshadow that I've been playing around with, and I'm mad because when I swatched it in store, it was so vibrant and beautiful, but when I've been applying it and playing around and trying to make a look with it at home, it's like dust. Like it barely transfers on my skin. Not happy with it because it was like $26. 21, 26. Somewhere in there. But I was maybe gonna do a look with this today, but I'm kind of leaning towards no. I'm not gonna use this. And then maybe for the lip, I've been playing around with this new NYX, their Jelly Job lip gloss. It's like, if I can open it, like that weird, almost like, I think it's a silicone applicator. And I really like the formula. I think I'm going to get it in other colors, but this color I think is a bit too murky for me and my skin tone, but I've been trying to make it work. So I think I'm going to do that old eye look, which I'll try and find a picture, and then this lip, we're gonna try and make this lip work. I think that's the plan. Okay, from here on out, I'm gonna do voiceover. You guys, let me know. Like, thank you, one, for people have been commenting, finally getting comments, that people have been saying really nice things, like that I'm beautiful. Someone said I had really beautiful eyes. So thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Just makes my day. But I mean, if you do watch these, comment and tell me if like what's better. Are voiceovers better? Because I'm a yapper and I obviously it's already saying it's like 11 minutes and I haven't even picked up any product to put on. So I think the talking to camera videos might be slightly longer because maybe I can yap. But if those are more interesting or people prefer those, maybe I can do them. Or are the voiceovers cool? What do we think? Let me know. Okay. Here on out's gonna be voiceover and we'll see how this comes out. Okay. All right, we are in the voiceover portion. I am watching a little Vegas vlog from one of my favorite YouTubers. We're gonna get a nice good sip of wine and then we are jumping straight in with my orange concealer because as you guys can see, part of that being up late last night and drinking a good bottle of wine and riding into the night is that I look a little tired, you know. Under eyes are a little bit showing that I've been up all night, which is fine. We're just gonna add a little orange to kind of fix some of that darkness. And this is something that I always feel like I look so funny when I have like raccoon orange eyes, but this is something that I pretty much do on a regular basis at this point. The under eyes, my under eyes have gotten a tinge dark as I've gotten older, so it's just an extra step and not necessary, but just I like the look of it a little bit better. So I was going with that orange. Then I take the LA Girl Pro Concealer and I use it because it's very thin and I want to say watery, but not in a bad way. It's just because this is usually like a thinner layer that I'm using. Sometimes I use it under my foundation, but since I'm doing a thinner layer with concealer over it, I like it because it's not too thick or too heavy. So it still covers, but I think because it's a tad bit thinner and watery, it's not like cakey. So I use that to cover up some of my discoloration before I go in with, I'm not doing foundation today, but I still do this if I'm doing all foundation or even if I'm doing just a concealer look or concealer base like I'm doing today. So I like it too because it's a cheaper concealer. It lasts pretty long, and I don't have to worry about, like I do with my NARS, trying to conserve it because I'm not trying to pay $30 every 2 weeks to refill it. So it's a good product. It's stood the test of time. I've used it since 2016, 17, whenever it came out, and it was like the OG YouTuber's favorite concealer. I've used it off and on since then. So it's a good go-to. It's like $3, $4, good to have in your makeup bag. And I go into with just a little bit right over that orange, right underneath my eyes, just to bring a little tiny brightness and cover the orange a smidge, just a little. I think as you get older and then also with the darkness under my eyes, you just have to be a bit more intentional and a bit softer, soft-handed on the products you put under your eyes. To me, I don't mind getting older. Like, I think it's a blessing. I think it's beautiful. I think older women are some of the finest people walking this damn earth. So I view it as a blessing. It's just that, you know, we just have a couple extra steps now that we have to do. So it is what it is. It's cool though. So next after this, I think it's when I go in with my concealer, this Best Skin Ever Sephora brand concealer that I hated when I bought, but surprisingly, recently I've been loving nonstop. Now, here's where you're gonna see, girl, because I don't know what I was doing in this video. I don't know if it was wine. I don't know if I was just being happy, heavy-handed. I put on way too much concealer. This concealer is thicker It's, hold on 2 seconds. My air conditioning came on. I was like, oh my God, are you guys gonna hear that? Um, it's thicker and a little goes a long way. And I forgot that when I was putting this on, and I put on a little bit too much. So you're gonna see right now I'm doing my eyebrows, which I just did, brushed them out, take a little Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil, fill them in slightly. I don't do too much. I let the concealer sit for a second, but you're gonna see it, girl, in a minute when I start to blend it out, that it's a little bit intense. So we're gonna have to do some extra work to tone it down. But I like to I don't always do the concealer in all of these spots. But because I'm going out to dinner and I wanted a slightly fuller face, especially since I'm not doing concealer or foundation, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some concealer under the eye, on the nose, forehead, above the lip, under the lip, and then the cheekbones. I don't always do this. Usually I'll just do under the eye and maybe like a tinge on the nose, and that's it. So this is a bit extra, and because I did a bit extra and because I did it a bit heavy-handed, you're going to see it's going to be pretty yellow for a second, but we're going to write it out. The eyebrows, this is a must when I'm in between eyebrow appointments. I get my eyebrows threaded probably every few weeks like clockwork, but um my eyebrow week is this upcoming week, so I'm going in this week. So when I filmed this, I had not gotten my eyebrows done yet. So I love doing this concealer outlining when I haven't gotten my brows threaded, because it just kind of hides those extra hairs and kind of allows like the eyebrows to seem like they have a sharp shape and to look like I just got them freshly threaded, even though these are a couple weeks past due. Like I probably should have got these threaded last week, but we do what we can. Another sip of really great wine, and I think next we're gonna blend this out. We're gonna take these two. What also made it a bit worse is that I had not I had not washed my brushes in I think like a week. So I try to wash my brushes once a week. You can see my reaction here when I could tell that I'm like, oh girl, you put on too much. Um, I try and wash them once a week, but like if you do your makeup and you are slow on washing your brushes, you know that applying makeup or concealer when your brush is slightly dirty is so frustrating, because it makes it like muddy and murky, and it doesn't do what it needs to do, and it doesn't blend properly. So not only did your girl put on a little bit too much concealer, but the brush wasn't brushing like it needed to brush. So we just had to trust the process. You hear me say, I could tell in the mirror and on camera that it was a very yellow. And I was like, okay, we're gonna have to do some work. But like I said, trust the process. You're gonna see in a second once I blend out all this concealer. We're gonna add a bit of warmth into the face, and we're going to tone down that concealer, because it also is a smidge. I think it's a slight shade too light. So what I'm going to do too, because I put in too much, the concealer was starting to move around. And that is one of my top pet peeves, is when product moves around on the face, like when a liquid product starts to move around. So I went in, dapped my brush with a little bit of the Laura Mercier powder, and just went in under the eye to kind of put some of that product in place before I started to warm up my face. So I'm going to take these two bronzers from Essence. Essence is like a great cheap drugstore brand. I get mine at Ulta. I want to say these are like $3, $4, $5 a piece. I get the shades. I can't think of the names, but the numbers are 30 and 20. And so first I go in with 20 because it's a little less harsh, or a little less intense, and I kind of lightly dust my face to bring a bit of that warmth back in. And you can kind of see now on screen that it tones down the heavy-handed concealer a bit, and it's bringing some of that warmth back in the face. So this is a kind of long clip. I tried not to cut it down too much because oh yeah, I dropped it right here, but thankfully it didn't break. But I tried not to cut it down too much so you could see in real time that it does take a while to blend out. And I am in front of the mirror, kind of like blending and doing the same motion for a while. Even though it's like clipped to make it seem pretty fast, it takes a second for that powder to build up. That's also kind of, a con of a cheaper powder sometimes. It's a good shade and it's good product, but you do sometimes have to build it up. You're not getting a lot on one swipe. So I take my time, and I did go back in with, on top of that lighter color, the 20 bronzer, I went back over it with that 30 bronzer. So that's a more intense bronze, and you can kind of see that it's like a bit of a contrast. It's a bit more noticeable. So again, I'm going to go in with a bigger, fluffier brush and kind of blend it out and soften it so it's not as intense. And like I said, see, trust the process. Like, the warmth came back. It was a bit too much concealer, but hey, we made it work. So now we're going to move on to the eyes. And I'm trying to find that picture that I referenced in the beginning of the eye look I was trying to create. So we'll see if I can get it. But we're going to go in with this MAC palette, which is one of their, I can't remember the name of the systems, but it's basically where you buy the empty palette and then you buy the shadow separately to build your own. So I went in with this like really light color, but it was coming off a bit brown, and I was looking for something that was a bit more taupe. So I went in with my e.l.f. palette and got this like lighter taupe color to put in the center of my eyes. Now, I do use brushes with eyeshadow, but I am a huge proponent of using your fingers. I don't know what it is. I just feel like it applies better. I feel like I get more control sometimes. And it's just fun. Like, it's just fun. I feel like a young girl putting on makeup in front of her mom's vanity when I do it with my fingers. I don't know. I just enjoy it more. But next I'm going to go in with this kind of like orange color from the MAC palette. And I'm going to swoop it in the creases. And I have a love-hate relationship with this palette. Obviously, I chose the colors. I built it, so I could only be mad at myself. But I do feel like the colors are a bit, I don't want to say, I guess muddy is the word that I'm looking for. Um, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't use it that often. The colors are a little bit cooler. The browns are a bit cooler than I would like. So I don't use it frequently, but for this look, we're sticking it through. So I put a little bit of that orange on my bottom lash line too, and I liked it. I liked it. I felt like it looked good. I'm going to go in now in the crease of the eye with that dark brown from the e.l.f. palette, because I feel like, again, it's a warmer brown than the brown that I chose for my MAC palette. And I just feel like warm tones look better on my skin tone. Like, cooler toned shades kind of make me look a bit morbid or like a bit ghostly. It doesn't do much for my complexion. So I'm going with a warm brown all the time. But even I noticed as I started to blend this out a bit, it was a bit cool. Like, I think that first color that I put on from the MAC palette had a bit of a cool grayish undertone, which you can kind of see come in through the eyeshadow. But overall, I feel like it was a cute, simple, not too dramatic smoky eye, and I was really happy with it. I took that, again, that darker brown, and I put a little bit of it on my bottom lash too, and I feel like it turned out really nice. I'm happy with it, as you can see by my little dance. So I dabbed, I always do this towards the end of my makeup. I dab like a bit of concealer, 2 dots right under my eyes, because I like to kind of go back in and brighten it up at the ending to kind of like, I guess, low key sit on top of anything, any like dust or fallen shadow that might have darkened the under eyes. So I do that while I'm putting on my final touches, and I put on my mascara and it looks cute.
Don't mind me here. Honestly, I was really just trying to get some screenshots for the thumbnail. So that's why you see me smiling at the camera. But we are in the last few steps, which is always when it starts to get really fun and you see everything come together. You add that blush in. I like a mauve blush, a little dabbed on my cheeks. I feel like it gives me that kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like it's like an old school glamour type of thing. There's something about black women having like mauvey cheeks that really reminds me of like vintage black glamour. But I like it. I like it. I think it turned out good. What do you guys think? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So I'm gonna go in with. I know I said I was gonna try that lip gloss. I ended up not. Not even gonna lie. I ended up going with the Morphe pencil in the shade Bite Me. And once I started outlining my lips, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not about to do gloss. It just looked too good with just the matte lip liner. So I like to outline it, you know, rub your lips together a few times to kind of blend it out a tad bit. And I feel like this was a nice, simple lip that really kind of brought the whole look together. I think the shadow really accentuates my eyes, and then the liner did my lips justice. So sprayed a little finishing spray on there, and then my handy dandy fan because it is 100 and plus degrees here in Las Vegas. And we are good to go. So this is how it turned out. What do we think? What do we think? How do we feel? The thing about a new hairstyle is I'm not really sure. I still have to play around with it. So I am not a huge braids person. I don't get braids regularly. So this is still one of like my first few times getting braids. So I'm trying to figure out how to style them and how I like styling them. I don't know what was going on with my camera here. I was like playing around with it. But you guys tell me if you are a frequent braid wearer. I feel like these are kind of giving Zoe Kravitz braids a little bit. But if you are a frequent braid wearer, tell me some of the styles or give me some suggestions of the best way you like to style braids. Like I feel like this ponytail with the tendrils looks really cute, but I couldn't decide if it was better to wear it up, half down. And also, I don't know what was going on with my camera here. So I'm trying to figure out like why it kept washing me out. Like I'm really not this light in person. I don't know why the camera was washing me out. See, there you go. There's my melanin. Love it. But yeah, give me some suggestions, you guys. What's the best way? I feel like it looks good like this down, but I also feel like I don't know. I feel like the ponytail is also kind of doing its thing. So you guys let me know. Give me your suggestions of what you like when you get braids. Like what are your go-to hairstyles? And also too, what are your products? Y'all send me some recommendations. Let me know. And what do we think? Give me your opinions. Let me know. How are we feeling?
Okay, I like it. I think I like it with my hair up. Maybe do like another down like that. What do we think? Should I wear it like this to dinner or down? I kind of like it like this. I think I might do this. Yeah, I don't know why my camera keeps like going super dark and then it goes like, I don't know. I don't know what it's doing, but I like this. I think this is good. Okay. All right, this is the look. Thanks for hanging out with me and doing my makeup. You guys let me know down, half up, fully up, ponytail, little tendril. Okay, let me know what you like. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will possibly film dinner. We'll see. But now I need to get changed. This is very great wine. I'm gonna finish this glass. I'm gonna get changed, figure out if we're gonna do up or down, and then possibly film dinner. Possibly film dinner. At least, at the very least, take pictures. So I'll insert pictures if I take them because I always take pictures at dinner. Okay, again, that's it for the yapping. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Subscribe to my Substack. Follow my newsletter because I love writing and I send stuff out every week. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Mwah.